Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being tuned in for today's Thirsty Thursday Jam Happy Hour. I'm very excited to introduce tonight's artist, and we've got Autumn Nicholas tuned in today from her new place in Nashville, Tennessee. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good.
Awesome.
Is this one of your first nights in your new place?
It is, and it's slowly but surely coming together, so I'm trying to get used to the room and the layout and everything.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, moving's always exciting, and it's especially exciting. You're in a more musically oriented sort of place, so
Absolutely.
super exciting.
Excited to be here.
Well, thank you for being here, and really stoked to hear what you have in store for us. So without further ado, you want to just hop right into that first one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect.
Thanks. This first one is called Dealing. It's not out yet, it's not released, but a good friend of mine who actually lives here in Nashville, we wrote it together, and we were wanting to do more about mental health, and this is how I felt about my mental health at the time during quarantine, so maybe we can have some relatability there. Again, it's called Dealing. I sit quietly with anxiety. No, I know I'm not perfect, but none of this is working. No control when I wanna slow down, overexposed when there's no one around, and my thoughts, they bother me. Said I tend to disagree, and I'm just trying to make some sense. If only I get out of my head, yeah. Sometimes I really question it, so when I look around at everyone else, don't know how I feel, no. Said I don't know how to deal with myself. Sometimes I really question it, so when I look around at everyone else, don't know how I feel, no. Said I don't know how to deal with myself, no. So I look around at everyone else, yeah. And now the fear of everything I don't know, so wish I could relax and let go, but there's no vacancies. Space right here is taking my thoughts, like a friend that's unfriended me. How I keep all my enemies so close to me, oh. At times I really question it, so I look around at everyone else, and I don't know how I feel. Said I don't know how to deal with myself, and at times I really question it. Yeah, why you look around at everyone else, don't know how I feel, no. Said I don't know how to deal with myself, no. So I take a look around at everyone else, yeah. Oh, and I don't know how to deal, don't know how I feel. I don't know how to deal, don't know how to deal. I don't know how I feel, don't know how I feel. Don't know how to deal, so no. I sit quietly, so much anxiety. So I know I'm not perfect, but none of this is working. Works out.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you. Autumn Nicholas, everybody. Now, if you're tuned in, we're over the course of the show going to be posting the links in which you can find Autumn's social media, in addition to the website, because I know that first song, Dealing, isn't yet released, but
Right.
I think you have a newsletter that people can subscribe to via email, on the website.
Absolutely. And
and
give
then
them some updates.
Perfect. And so with that, and then I think you were talking about having some summer clothes maybe being released towards the summertime, of course. And is that where the people can typically get those sorts of updates too, like Instagram and then that newsletter in the site?
Absolutely. The website's going to be able to carry most information that I kind of lack on remembering to talk about. The website's going to have a link when I add the unbranded link back into the summer editions. We're going to have t-shirts, and even if you, everywhere I go, I carry a hand towel in my back pocket because I'm so used to playing outside shows and I'm just like, I hope it's going to be a hot one this summer, and we're going to release kind of like t-shirts and towels to hopefully inspire getting people back outside, back to shows, maybe festivals, if we can hope that happens.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes. But it's all going to be on autumnnicholas.com for sure. And that song is not on the album, but I hope to release it this summer as well. But I am going to play a few tunes from the album for sure.
Cool. And then real quick, going back to the clothing line. So the motto that you have for Unbranded is no genre, no gender, no rules, which I think that's really awesome, just how you came out with this line that is customizable and able for anyone of any shape, size, gender to wear. So were you kind of in on that idea on your own, or did you have some friends that helped you come up with that idea?
To be honest with you, I have been a little bit frustrated, like, in my own clothing over the years, and other friends of mine feel the same way. Like, it's sometimes boy clothing, I guess, would fit a little bit better in certain areas, and then the girl half of it, you're like, I wish I could, like, mash them together somehow.
Yeah.
And I haven't really seen too many lines that do that. And my partner, actually, she is the creative, like, mind half of it, of drawing the designs and logos. And I'm just like the crazy creative mind over here, just like, hey, this idea, that idea. And she can actually take the idea to paper and then to the clothing. And we as a whole have always come up with this, like, like shirts here, they fit too tight and too loose here. And she's like, maybe we can make our own. And so that's kind of where it came from, of being happy with your body, but also with the clothes you're wearing. And if it makes you feel good to not have to worry about its gender, there's no genre to the clothing. It doesn't have to be a certain brand or anything. It's just yours. And also, walking around that's something that states it's unbranded means that you make the brand. That's what we want it to be about. It's about you. It's really not about us. That's why there's no name. So.
Right. I love that. Yeah, this shirt actually that I'm wearing right now, it's technically a guy's shirt that I got from, I think, H&M a while back, but I liked the way it felt. Like I swear, the sweatpants and t-shirts and sweatshirts always more comfortable when you buy them through a guy's section.
Yes, or you
but
steal
then
them
it
from
hangs.
someone.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna take that money.
Yeah, but yeah, it fits a little weird up here in the shoulder
That's
area.
why I'm always pulling. Like, that's what I'm always doing.
Yep.
So funny.
It's a great idea. Love that.
Heck yeah.
Well, yeah, so for anyone watching, definitely subscribe to that newsletter on the site, and you'll receive updates about new music and that merch line, Unbranded, that'll be released in the summertime. So check that out. And then you want to get into another song?
Yeah, let's do some from the album. Well, Shades of Beige. Heck yeah. So this is going to be off of my recent EP, called Shades of Beige. You can find it everywhere on the website. The song is called Light, the Opposite of Dark. That's the entire title. I know it's a bit long, but last night I played this song live, and I told everyone that I wasn't going to explain what it was about, because then I'd be ruining it for you. I think that it's fair that I let you kind of feel what it's about rather than me telling you the story. You make up a story for yourself, and then maybe one day you will be able to relate to mine. Well, I'll be able to relate to yours, rather. Again, this is Light. I hope the light inside of me bleeds some dark side of you. Oh, we cannot hide in angles, and they cannot bend the truth. It's in the balance of the fall. It's complicated or defeated. Oh, we must outweigh the lasting. This won't be the death of me. Said I know it won't be the death of me. Oh, no, 'cause I wanna be the light that outweighs your darkness. So I don't need to be a gap. Oh, there's no need to fit in. So you don't wanna be a square that fits into your circle. Oh, and way outside the box. Oh, they're trying to place me in it. Oh, they let them place you in it. Oh, they let them place you in it. Oh. Now, was it the light that broke the bulb? Is it the stuff they told us all? The hypocrites' hypotheses making me believe the darkness, so I don't need to be a gap. There's no need to fit in. Said I wanna be a square that fits into your circle. Oh, and way outside the box, they try to place me in it. Oh, that little place you in it. No, no, no. Oh, the little place you in it. Oh, now with a spot, there you think that you're broken. Oh, it's just a space that leaves you open for new life. Oh, the spot where you think that you're broken. Oh, it's just a space that leaves you open for new life. Oh, the spot where you think that you're broken. Oh, I swear it's a space that leaves you open, oh, for new light, yeah. I hope the light inside of me bleeds some darkness out of you. Oh, we cannot hide in angles, and we cannot bend the truth. It's in the balance of the fall. It's complicated, not defeated. Oh, you must outweigh the lasting. This won't be the death of me. That'll be better.
Woo! Thank you. This is Autumn Nicholas, everybody, and you're tuned in for Jam Happy Hour. If you've never had our wines, or if you love our wines and need to restock, then you can venture over to jamcellars.com/buy. Find your wines either in your local area with our wine finder, or get them delivered straight to your door through our delivery system. And we deliver to almost every state within the United States. So check us out there. And I think, Autumn, were you able to get our wine in time?
I am. I will reach it in just a second.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
To be honest with you, I've never had anything like that delivered to me. And I know during quarantine, like, I was probably prime time, but they were so quick and literally were like on the way, and I was like, oh my gosh, like right now? We're downstairs. I was like, oh wow.
Yes.
It was like minutes. Like, they're like the Chick-fil-A of delivery. Maybe not have Chick-fil-A there, but they're very fast.
Yeah, we just got a Chick-fil-A, like not in Napa. I think
no
that's gonna happen in the future, but nearby. And actually just ate Chick-fil-A waffle fries yesterday. So
Oh gosh, yeah.
was it Drizzly that you
Yes, it was Drizzly. They're just the fastest like company. I'm so glad I was introduced to them, because I have friends that are constantly asking like, hey, how can we order stuff like that? And I'm like, I don't know. And now I'm completely informed, so I'm super grateful for you guys introducing me, and now I know. And by the way, I've had your wine once before and I didn't know it, so now I'm like, oh, now I know who you are. So I have a super cool connection now. So
Heck yeah. Well, you'll have to come to Napa at some point once travel and live music is a thing again, and possibly you could perform here at our tasting room. We're
that would be
looking
awesome.
forward to getting back to that. So
I know.
we can pour you all our wines. Because I think you got butter and jam, but we have some other varieties too that you can try.
Wow. I'm stoked. I was just talking about paying a visit at the end of summer, because after we do kind of a short tour here, my goal is to end up living in California. I haven't decided where exactly yet, because there's too many places of interest right now, but it's my dream to go to to go see anything that has to do with wine. I said when I retire, my goal is to have like my own vineyard, even if it's like the tiniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I just want to learn more about it, so I really this is probably one of my favorite gigs, to be honest with you. I'm stoked.
Yay! Well, we're excited to have you. And so that last song that you just did, did you say it's called Light, the Opposite of Dark?
Yes.
Okay. And that was off of your latest EP, which you released, I think you said back in November.
Yes, this past year. Shades of Beige. I think I had like 6 tracks, yeah.
And do you plan on releasing any like physical version of the music, like in terms of a vinyl record or CD, or do you already have that?
We thought about it. I definitely want to do some vinyls, because I think that's like classic to hold on to forever. Especially now that people are wanting and maybe are getting back to work, so maybe they wanted to put a little more into like the things and hobbies that they love. It was really hard at the beginning of the pandemic. We had a GoFundMe going so we could create the EP, and I took it down because I figured, you know, we're all going to be in this like really unsure space together and not sure about jobs or, you know, what's going to happen in the future. We were thinking, oh, 3 months we'll be back and going, and 3 months turned into 6 months, and so I kind of just hustled in other ways that I could put the EP together with friends, and so I'm definitely hoping to release like In Your Hands music very, very soon, whether that's vinyl or even, I don't know if CDs are going to be a thing very soon either. Maybe more merch will be for sure.
Sweet. Well, I think, yeah, for sure, like a vinyl for Shades of Beige would just be super cool. Like, I love the message behind, like, the name of the EP itself.
Cool.
Just about our differences that also can bring us together, even though we have these different shades of skin color and different backstories and different memories and issues within our life. We can all, especially with music, just come together and find a common message, even though we have those differences.
We're definitely seeing that on TV now. We're finding some unity in fighting for justice for the right of all, not for the rights of some. And I think that's like huge for me, and I'm happy that I get to see it in my generation even make an impact. Even with what's going on TV, we're learning so much about ourselves and things we want for like our future, and I think that's cool that they're making us question like all of that in life. So that's why I'm like, I gotta keep writing about what's going on, otherwise, you know, our future kids can know about it. They don't have to read about it, they can just hear about it. So
And so speaking of kids, your dad and then your brother also, they play music too, I think?
They do. My dad is from Trinidad and Tobago, so like they like breed music there. He plays a steel pan, and it's a very popular instrument. And I grew up listening to him play in many different like steel drum bands, and my brother and him would sing in the choir at our church. And it finally just got to me that I was like, I really want to play like an instrument, but I didn't want to be kind of like the same, so I wanted to be a little like outcast rebel and play guitar and do the rock star girl thing, and it dimmed down a bit to the understanding of what that meant, but they definitely inspired me to want to do it. Huge pushers in the best way, so I'm here because of them.
Now, did you know, like, once you realized you had a knack for it and you enjoyed performing or, you know, creating music, how did you kind of realize you wanted to make a career out of it, or did that just kind of naturally come to be?
I honestly, when I was like, I would say like 13, I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to write about things, and then I liked to write poetry, and I picked up guitar just watching my brother kind of play. I kind of picked it up, and then my dad shoved me on a stage at like 14 or 15 and was like, just play the songs you wrote. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is terrifying. And I'm out there shaking like a leaf, and I played 2 or 3 songs on the back of a flatbed truck.
Oh my gosh.
It was like 13 degrees outside, and he's like,
This sounds like a movie.
It felt like it. He was like, you can do it, I promise. And after like 3 or 4 songs, they were probably absolutely horrible if somebody ever recorded that, but to me, I was like, this is what it's like this is why I want to do this. And so that half of it clicked. But then years later, the writing half of it started to happen more, and then the artistry of being an entertainer, and then also like the balance of being an artist and not just like a crazy, I'm a writer and I'm going to put all my feelings in everything I do. We have to have a balance of all that, and it definitely, that's kind of where I knew, like, I would say I went to college Full Sail when I was 19, and I realized music business is not, it's not for me. I tried my hardest. I was like, Mom, I can't do this anymore. I can't learn about why the light bulb. I was like, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. And she's like, yeah, I know. So I pulled out of that and just kept grinding on tours and writing. And now more so than ever, I'm probably spending more time writing songs than I am doing anything else, rather than just performing cover shows all the time. So
wow. I feel like that's so cool that your 13-year-old aspiration to be a journalist, it kind of did come full circle with the music aspect, because you're sort of a journalist of not only your own perspective of the world and your own experiences, but showcasing what's going on in the world at that point in time. And I think Pretty sweet.
Next EP, I'm gonna remember that. The Journalist. That's me.
Yes.
That's a pretty sweet EP name. Huh, thanks for that.
You got it. Okay, well, do you want to do maybe like 2 songs back to back?
Yeah. Let's do
Sweet.
it. Heck yeah.
All right.
So this song is going to be called More. It is off of Shades of Beige, and yeah, it is on the album. I can't even talk when I'm strumming today. I wrote this. I kind of want to tell you what it's about. I had a really rough time coming away from some of the steady things I had going on in my life, such as a career that I thought was just, I had to do it because it was something that was promising. And I was afraid to let go and dive straight into music. And I was also afraid to love myself fully for the things and who I was and who I am. Being a part of LGBT community, I am a mixed woman, and it was really hard to trust all of those things in the world and the way it's been confusing. And finally I learned, you know what, it's time to just let go and love me and accept me and stop worrying about so many other things. And I ended up falling in love with myself and then another person who started to do that very same thing with their selves. So this song was inspired from my partner and from learning how to love myself. So sorry about that wind, but the song is called More. That's what we all hope for, right? Just not more quarantine.
Lying back down next to you, yeah. Oh, lost when I expected to. I wish you back and now I've got it. But I'm wondering how this started. Yeah, I'm wondering how this started. When it started from love, yeah. 'Cause if it's everything you wanted, oh, you started from love, yeah. If you give, I'll give, and we've got it, and so much more love. Oh, come love me. Oh, yeah, love, love, love. Oh, sweet love. So give them time, space, and room. So you'll grow out what you thought you knew. I swear we're wild, free, and we have to wonder. And we're tangled up in one another, yeah. Yeah, we're tangled up in one another. And it starts from love, ooh, oh, sweet love. Yes, it's everything I wanted. It started from love, yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause if you give, I'll give, and we've got it, and so much more, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we need some more love, yeah, yeah. This is the most important part for me. I can't ask you to love me if I don't love me. I gotta love me. I can't ask you to love me if I don't love me. You gotta love me. I can't ask you to love me if I don't love me. I gotta love me. I can't ask you, no, I can't ask you to love me first. Now if they hold you close, give you life, and live tomorrow, treat them right. 'Cause you try and search, it always seems to hide. Oh, but the more you love, the more you find. Oh, the more you love, oh, the more you'll find. It starts from love, oh, sweet love. If it's everything you wanted, start from love, yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause if you give, I give away, you got it. So much more, yeah, 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 yeah. Gonna love you first. Alright, that song was called More. I'm gonna do a second one. I think we do some back to back. This is not released yet. You can tell me what you think. Some comments. Alright. You might be able to hear this in the background, but my partner is actually teaching Zoom, so if you hear like accounting, it's because of that. We're both working from home, I guess. I guess it's familiar for everyone. This song is called Oat. Means out of tune, and it's how I feel about, that's how I felt about my career coming back into it after spending so much time not performing, so much time in my space and not really sure if this is something I should keep doing. I mean, not that we lost everything, but we lost what felt like our purpose, to bring others joy through songs and stories and our connectivity in space. And I felt like we just lost all of that. I know for understanding reasons, but it was a tough time. And so this is why, and all right, this is how I felt. There it is. Could I let go like a stranger to myself? I'm supposed to be someone else. When they told you be the whole you, I just lied to myself. Playing make believe like I don't need no help. I know I got issues, just wanna walk about on my own too. Find a way to relay what I'm going through, 'cause we got issues, we all got issues. Yeah, I'm out of tune with myself, I'm out of room for someone else. It's way too soon, take me off the shelf. Oh, I'm in a mood, oh, I'm not myself. Oh, 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 I'm not myself, no, no. Oh, yeah, so I'm not myself. I just wanna let go and be someone else. I'm supposed to be just myself. When I told you be the whole you, just lied to yourself. Playing make believe like you don't need no help. I know I got issues, I just wanna walk them out on my own too. Find a way to relate what I'm going through, 'cause I got issues, we all got issues. I'm out of tune with myself, I'm out of room for someone else. Way too soon, take me off the shelf. Oh, I'm in a mood, so I'm not myself. Oh no, no, oh no, no, I'm not myself. Oh, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, I'm not myself. Oh, no, no, I hope I let go. Be a stranger to myself, I'm supposed to not be someone else. When I told you be the whole you, I just try to be myself. But playing make believe like I don't need no help. That was called Oat, out of tune.
Woo!
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Autumn Nicholas, everyone. If you're just now joining us, welcome to Jam Happy Hour. And that last song is actually unreleased, so we've been linking it below all throughout the show. But if you want to head over to the website, there's a way that you can enlist in the newsletter, and that'll allow you to keep yourself updated with Oat and other songs like Dealing that are not yet released but will be released probably, you were saying, around summertime.
Yeah, I think midsummer, just because summer it really hasn't hit yet in some places. I feel like it's still like we're slowly getting through spring still, and I really want it just to be kind of like when everybody feels like themselves again and goes outside and can come down, like happy songs to kind of lift people up from the dreary we've kind of experienced together.
And so, like, with Out of Tune and feeling like, you know, everything, I think for everyone has felt a little bit off, especially like with all the changes we've experienced, like new regulations, new terms we've all like been using for the past year that we have never used before. You know, I think we've all had to adapt in one way or another. So I guess my question for you is, how have you sort of adapted, creatively speaking, or just in general, like your creative process? Has it changed at all with song creation?
So I kind of wanted to like touch on that. I heard another artist say, I think I was watching them on like YouTube. They said that they never want to do another Zoom co-write again, and they were just so frustrated with not being able to share the energy. They say they can't share it through a screen, and I kind of just related to that so much because every time I would do a Zoom write, it's not that the other person on the other side wasn't a good writer. They were fantastic writers. It was just we couldn't share a space and sound that would connect us, not virtually, and it almost felt like there was like literal space in the room. And so that made it a bit tough, but I also just recently started doing co-writes in person, so that's been new. But on the off time, I literally spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I wanted to say, because I think, like you said, of being so lost, I just wanted to talk about the bad and the bad and the bad, and like, oh, that's all we knew. Like, we were being shoved, buy your groceries in a hurry, and the toilet paper's gone, and I'm just like, this is a really horrible thing to talk about. Like, I don't know how that's gonna ever lift us up. And they had it on repeat to the point where you just want to turn your TV off and sell it and move to another country, maybe where they didn't talk about it as much, but they were still doing their best to take care of it. But I found ways to do it, like in a strange way. I would go sing like in my shower, and I'd have like a little notepad on the outside, and I would just write in there because there was nothing happening in there. There was no like other things. And to be honest with you, every time I had to go for an audition where I had to write a song, I would do my best writing in the shower, strangely enough, now that I'm thinking about it. So my creativity comes from, I guess, being clean. In the strangest of ways.
I've literally had a shower thought where I was like, I need like one of the electronic notepads but I need it to be waterproof. Like, there's the notepads where it's
that?
like, yeah, like it almost looks like a Kindle or like an iPad, but it's like you can write your notes out. But I don't think there's a waterproof one. I guess you could get a case, but I always have like the craziest, best ideas in the shower, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
When I step out of the shower.
Down the drain.
Yep, down the drain. Exactly.
That's so crazy. I'm gonna look that up now, because before this I was like in there like on the glass. I was like, write this down.
I've done that.
I get out, I'm like, what does that say? No, so that's really funny that you can relate to that. So that's where my creativity.
This.
Yeah,
we could
right.
make millions.
Absolutely right. Like an Etch-a-Sketch, but one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in the shower?
Oh my god.
That's good.
Those things. Do they still make those?
I don't know. I did hear this funny joke that the Etch-a-Sketch museum had a huge, they had to close because there was like a something earthquake, and it made all the Etch-a-Sketches. I was dying. Or the little like the shaky ones with the sand. I was just dying.
Oh my god.
But yeah, but we can definitely make one for the bathroom for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
We've got this.
Now, what is your partner teaching? Or is your
in the other
partner
room?
teaching?
Yes, she is teaching
Like little
Zoom. She's a
kids.
dancer. So she teaches ballet, and she teaches contemporary, and she does like training routines. And she's from Toronto, actually, where they're extremely locked down. So I was lucky enough to have her come for a visit, and then they kind of like locked everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I hadn't seen her for about 3.5 months.
Oh wow.
So they're a little bit more strict than America. Not that anything is any better or worse, to make that clear. But they have a little tighter rules, and she hasn't even been to a restaurant in almost like, I don't know, since last time she was with me. And she's like, it's so foreign to go into, like, I play shows now, and she walks in and she's like, oh my gosh, like, it's like shell shocked for someone who hasn't been in a place with people for so long. They've even locked down their Walmarts to the point of, like, you can only buy essentials, not clothing, not fishing poles, not nothing else. So we think we have it bad, and I take that back.
Well,
sure.
I feel like the one, I guess, the silver lining of all of this is, at least for me, I've come to appreciate the little things that I took for granted in the past, like even sitting down at a restaurant and enjoying a meal that doesn't come in a to-go box, that I haven't cooked at home, like, is so surreal, and I appreciate that experience now so much, and it's a very rare experience whenever I do get around to doing it, but seeing people, you know, friends that I used to see a lot, and now I just text or Zoom or FaceTime with.
Wow.
I think when we see each other, all of us again, when we get to go back to restaurants and shopping and everything being back to normal, or the new version, whatever that is in the future, it's going to be different in a good way.
I as a lady here, I went and had lunch with her yesterday, and she said, I just saw my family for the first time in, I think she said 15 months. And I was like, what? Like, what? And she said it was just nothing but tears. Like, they were so, like, excited to see one another and relieved. You know, they're all vaccinated, and they're just like, I can't believe we even stayed separate this long. Like, we had to, but also, like, just the panic that has been sent out so much, rather than the treatment that we can do for ourselves, like, mentally and physically. And like you're saying, like, we're eating things in boxes that, because we're reaching the point of, all right, now the grocery stores are out of things, and I can't go to the grocery store because it's a certain time of day, or, you know, it was a bit extreme. I literally we've documented our entire quarantine from the start. I was actually in LA when they did the lockdown, when they locked down the NBA, and then when they did like Disney and all that. And that's when I got the call, and they were like, you need to come home. And I was like, why? Like, what's going on? I wasn't watching TV, and I've documented it ever since then, ever since my last show all the way to my first show when we came back. And I have videos of us grocery shopping. I have videos of people fighting over groceries, and like, just the crazy. So I really can respect what you're saying about it, the appreciation of what we had and have when we can.
Yeah,
So-
like my grocery trips now, I have gotten to the point where I know what hour of the day there won't be a line,
The hustle.
like, to get into Trader
Yeah.
Joe's,
Oh my
and
gosh,
I've
yeah.
gotten it all figured out now, like,
No way.
over a year later. Yeah,
Jeez.
it's like an hour before closing is the best time to go to Trader Joe's.
Thanks for putting it out to the world. Now we're gonna, like, lose your
There you go.
time. Dang it. She meant an hour and a half before they opened.
Yep. All right, so Autumn, why don't we do another song?
That sounds good to me.
Cool.
So, I'm gonna throw you an older one. I had an EP released many years ago that I'm ashamed to tell you how many years ago, because that'll let you know the gap that I didn't release music. But to be honest with you, I was really nervous to release music for a really long time. That's why I did mostly covers, and we also live next to a fire station, so it's been a good time. Again, we'll let this pass. It's yep. Everyone's fine. It's I'll keep talking, it's gonna go away. This song is off of my last EP. The song is called Wasted. Not wasted as in drunk, but wasted as in over something, like just done. Similarly, we can all relate to being in a relationship that we were like, why am I doing this? And I wrote this many years ago. I'm gonna say 2016, a long time ago. And it was really impactful for me at the time, because I didn't know why I was doing something. So let's try to get it out.
So I'm done and through. No wasted time I spent on you. You cross the line, and it's enough. This'll never be, this'll never be love. Yeah. Oh no, this'll never be love. No, 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 no. My hands are tied, I'm not to blame. The day is done, you're just not the same, and I call it different. Cause your heart's not in this. Oh, you're not the same person I perceived you to be. You're only the same when you try not to be. Taking yourself into the worst of decisions. It's not how I envisioned you to be. No, no, no. Was it what you wanted me to see? Yeah. Said we are overdone and through. Too much time has been spent on you. Across the line, oh, it's enough. This'll never be, this'll never be love. Oh, this'll never be, this'll never be love. Oh, no, no, yeah. And this is so painful, cause I am lost. All of my feelings have come to a cross. I just want out of my chest. No one told me love could cause such a mess. Once I felt bad, once I done wrong. Wondered what had took me so long. With all of the things in my head, all of the things that we said, well, this should be overdone and through. Too much time has been spent on you. Cross the line, it's enough. This'll never be, this'll never be love. This'll never be love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So giving up hope and I left it behind. Oh no, no, you may be a thought, but you won't be caught crossing my mind. Said I'm giving up hope and I left it behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So giving up and I won't be ever crossing my mind. Oh, cause we are overdone and through. Too much time has been spent on you. Cross the line, it's enough. This'll never be, oh, this'll never be love. Oh, no, this'll never be love. So, oh, no, no, this'll never be. Oh, no, no, no. This'll never be love. Hey.
Woo!
Thank you, thank you.
It's hard. Normally I do. Oh, there we go. Normally I do a round of applause, but I'm kind of just using my good arm right now.
It looks more elegant that way, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, bravo.
It's like the pinky out and out.
Yeah. So Wasted, that is off of chapter 1.
Yeah, definitely.
And then can people find that through your site and through all the major platforms in addition to your new release?
Yes, you can still find it on all the platforms that music is released on, and the album, I think you can still download it from the website if you'd like. And if not, there's a link to it for sure. It's not my absolute favorite, but if you want to... It's just I was so young and I felt so, I think, scared and nervous releasing my first ever EP, so... you might like it, but I think as an artist it's hard to grow and look back at your old music and you're like, oh my goodness, what was I saying? But you got to do it.
No, I think it's interesting because with chapter 1 and then with your new 2020 release, Shades of Beige, that you put out those two in two very different but very similar years, end of 2016 and end of 2020. In terms of the elections.
Wow.
I'm just curious, like, did you see a big change in like your outlook and your music from those two albums related to what's going on in the world?
My gosh, yeah. That's a lot there. Yes. It was such a different time then. I guess simpler wouldn't even be the word. Just because if I could use an example of the ingredients of things as like being able to explain it. I don't think we understood, or I understood, the ingredients of more so of my life and of politics and of some of the things that are going on in the world that we just don't talk about enough of, that we're talking about very much now. I think that's a huge change for me. It opened up my eyes to it, even though when I was young, I did experience things about racism at a very young age, but my parents never raised us to be any different, so that's kind of why I never saw it as a problem. I just saw it as someone didn't like something, that's okay. We'll be fine. And then now, watching some of these riots take place and, having my niece come to me and be like, hey, like, can we go be a part of, like, the standing up for what's right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought I'd been asked that in my life. Like, and our parents and their generations have been through things like that. And I think, I'm not going to say it's a good thing that it took place, but maybe we needed to know the ingredients of the people we were standing behind. And maybe we needed to know the ingredients of the things that are happening that we just don't pay enough attention to, because we're all walking like this all the time, and even more so now. But I think they desensitize us to keep us on a hamster wheel of social medias and the news. And unfortunately, I think that's taken over in the last year in comparison to 2016, where I don't think we were all curious about who was our president. I mean, we did mind, but not as much as we mind now. So it was definitely a huge difference for me writing. I feel like then I was writing about maybe personal, where now I'm writing about more external, about how it personally affects, and external about how it's really truly affecting us all. Yeah. If I can unify it.
Right. Love that. Now, okay, so there's the track Side by Side that you did a video for.
Yeah.
And wasn't it like the artwork that you featured within the video, you had to like shoot the video super quick because they were gonna like
take it down,
move it or remove it?
Yeah, they were pretty upset about some of the places that were, I guess I'm gonna call it tagged or graffitied, but it's art, and nevertheless people were pretty upset about it, but only certain few. And there was just so much meaning and hope behind it that I think even going through the pandemic, when people started to speak out in those ways, I was like, there's no way we can not capture this. Like, this song, to be honest with you, when I wrote it, it wasn't even about that at all. It was a totally different song. And then I recall looking at all the art on the wall, and I was like, we need to change these words. Like, I want to rewrite it. And I rewrote the song. And literally within a week, I called my manager and I said, we need to grab this. We need to grab the art. We need to grab everything now, and make it something. And he literally is the most helpful guy, and put it all together. And before they took it all down, and before they did like the Black Lives Matter, like on the ground where we did like an overshot, it was just it was, I don't know, you see all people every day going and taking shots of it, and going and getting like drone shots, and it was just so impactful that I hoped that it impacted some way in the song's meaning as well. So
heck yeah,
it was cool.
That's amazing. That's like another example of how, like, as time goes on, or with each individual's different life and path, how a song's meaning can evolve and change. And even for you, the creator of the music, that meaning, something clicked in your head and you're like, no, wait, this could be and should be applied to this.
Right.
So
the journalism.
that's super cool.
Writing about what I'm seeing.
Yep. And then for the people watching, if they want to go see that video, it's on YouTube, I think. But
there's a link on my website as well for the music video, and then we are going to come out with a lyrical video, just so that people can read the lyrics and follow along, to maybe feel more impacted by it as well.
Heck yeah. Well, everyone watching, go to autumnnicholas.com, check everything out that I mentioned throughout the show. And I think if they're feeling tipsy today on this fine thirsty Thursday, oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Drop a buck or two in the
Thank
virtual
you so
tip
much.
jar.
That's so cool. I wish I had one of those.
All right. You want to do a final song?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm actually going to do Side by Side, so good call on that one.
Cool. Cheers.
Thank you. Like she was saying, it was such a tough video to not want to grab and do it quickly, but the song did come together, and every time I sing it, I tell people live on stage, I say, this song is about Black Lives Matter. And immediately everyone kind of turns around and is like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not afraid to speak about it because I think we have to. We are the voices that can make change, and that's why I had to write this, because maybe it can be an anthem for those who are afraid to speak. Just because you're afraid to speak doesn't mean you have to stay silent. You can find an anthem and a mantra that helps you feel that you can be helpful towards this and give light to this, so that those don't have to feel so alone in the standing up together. So the song is about uniting us for that understanding.
Secretly, it's inspiring. The uncertainty, it keeps us circling on and abiding by all smoke screens. They're withholding. The fear is really not knowing that I can't understand why we all just keep taking sides. Why can't we sympathize if we really care about each other's lives? Let's go and make it right. Said I wanna stand side by side, for equal rights. I need some equal rights. Hey. This anxiety seems puzzling. Our history books really don't mean nothing, and this oppression got me feeling like we're divided by a million questions. Why don't just be colorblind with all that hate inside? Said I can't understand why we all just keep taking sides. Why can't we sympathize if we really care about each other's lives? Let's go and make it right. Said I wanna be side by side for equal rights. Let me be side by side. Oh no, yeah. Side by side, yeah. Social media's in a frenzy, fighting just to make ends meet. Living life on our phone screens, learning how to deal with lonely. Social media's in a frenzy, fighting just to make ends meet. And we're living life on our phone screens, learning how to deal with lonely. Social media's in a frenzy, we're fighting just to make ends meet. And living life on our phone screens. How do I deal with all this lonely? Yeah. So all this hope, I need some side by side for equal rights. We need side by side for equal rights.
Woo! Thank you. Super fun getting to know you and hearing the backstory for these songs, some of which have not been released. So those of you watching at home, just keep your eyes peeled for those updates. You can find them on social media, through Instagram, or through the website. Not only will there be new music, but some merch dropping in the summertime too. And then I just realized it's Earth Day and your name's Autumn. It's perfect.
I know I chose this day. I was like, I'm gonna be that weird person.
I love it.
Cool.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and good luck with more unpacking. I know moving and unpacking is crazy, but
It's all a secret underneath the bed. I promise you, it's not as nice as it looks. But thank you so much.
Drink some wine, it'll help.
Right? I'm going to. I think we're going to make that with dinner right now. I'm just going to go in there and pop it on. Well, dinner for us, but not for you guys yet, quite yet. But thank you so much for having me and chatting about all of what's going on and even adding a little bit of real life. I appreciate that really a lot.
Got it. Well, hopefully we'll see you live in person sometime soon, but in the meantime, cheers to you, Autumn.
Cheers.